Hey everyone, this is Alana with FidgetHaven Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Haptic coin by Cody Umburger at Umburry. They're currently sold for $59.99. The Haptic coin is made up of 2 aluminum shells, 10 neodymium magnets, and a needle roller bearing. The purpose is to rotate the shells in opposite directions in order to produce both a tactile and audible click. Now, the very simplified explanation of how it works is that there are 5 attracting magnets in each shell, which means that one shell has the north pole of the magnets facing in, and the other has the south pole of the magnets facing in. When the magnets are aligned, they attract each other. As the magnets pass over one another and are pushed to become unaligned, they repel each other slightly as the matching poles force the magnets away from one another. That's what creates both the audible and the tactile click. I find that the design is very simple, but let me tell you, it's totally ingenious and absolutely wonderful to play with. It's easy to rotate the shells with just minor movements, and there are a number of different ways that you can hold the Haptic coin to tailor it to both your preferred position and to the volume of clicks. If you use more pressure when rotating, the clicks are quiet, and what you hear is primarily a whooshing sound. If you use less pressure, you can have very loud clicks, and there's an additional bounciness to the tactile feedback. The version that I'm reviewing here has been anodized a metallic blue color, and it has a machine finish underneath. As of this review, the Haptic coin is available in both metallic blue and metallic black. I find that the color is very evenly done, though it's worth noting that on the inside of the center hole, it doesn't appear to be anodized. Now, this is from where the shells touch the metal hooks during the anodization process, but it doesn't harm it at all. If you look at them very closely, yes, they're visible, but they're really not easily noticeable when you're not looking for them, and as I mentioned, they don't impact the functionality at all. The 6061 aluminum feels very solid and like it could take a lot of abuse, though I really don't recommend abusing it. There are no sharp edges, and it's smooth throughout. The outer edge has been rounded, and it's extraordinarily comfortable to the touch. Each shell has 10 grooves machined into it to give it extra grip, and I think that it adds to the aesthetics pretty nicely. Now, it comes apart very easily for bearing maintenance if need be. I've discovered that it's easy to do by rotating both of the shells to force the magnets to become unaligned. As the magnets repel one another, a small gap forms between the shells, and it's very easy to just pull each away from the other. The steel needle roller bearing, try saying that 10 times fast, isn't held in place with anything aside from the magnetism, and it just sits in the channel. It can be removed really easily for cleaning, though it's worth noting that it really shouldn't require regular cleaning, as its function is very different than the type of bearing that you'd say find in a spinner. Now, if you do find that you need to clean it, I would recommend using either the alcohol method or the dish soap method, and I would advise against using the toothpaste method because I just don't think that it would apply well for this type of bearing. It takes very little force to rotate the shells, and it requires absolutely no attention to be paid to it to use it effectively. I find that the movement and the feedback are incredibly soothing and relaxing. I think that it's fantastic for concentration when using the quiet click method, but it can also be used for distraction when using the loud click method. As someone who suffers from post-concussion syndrome, I have to say that I do use the quiet click method almost all the time, except for when there's the odd mistake here or there, and that's because the loud click is just too painful for me to listen to repetitively. I really appreciate that there are ways to tailor the volume for your needs. However, I wouldn't recommend it for something like a business meeting or going to the theater, because even the quiet click method really isn't quiet enough for those situations. I find that the weight feels substantial, but it's not heavy. It weighs in at 34.3 grams on my scale. It fits well in both large and small hands, though I would not recommend it for young children because of the small parts and because of the strong magnets. It measures 1.63 inches in diameter. Now, I've noticed a tiny bit of hand and finger fatigue after lengthy use, but honestly, it's not as much as I anticipated. Now, I'm sure you can tell that I absolutely love the Haptic coin. It's earned a place in my daily carry selection, and I haven't been able to put it down since I received it. It has truly been a pleasure to use. I'll happily recommend it to anyone and everyone who will listen. Cody has also been a pleasure to speak with, and I believe that he has some new ideas for both expanding the line and the functionality floating around in his head. I'm really hoping that those ideas come to fruition. There aren't many of these in existence, only 25 in each color, so I definitely recommend grabbing one while you still can. Again, this is the Haptic Coin by Cody Umburger at Umburry. I am Alana with FidgetHaven Reviews. If you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to post them in the comment section below. I am always happy to hear from you guys. I'm going to put a link in the description to both the store where you can purchase these and to my written review. I hope that this was helpful to you, and I greatly appreciate you watching it. And I hope that all of you have the most fantastic day.